A new best commentary looks at how the Florida property insurance market continues to struggle, which hit 5-year performance and surplus lows in 2020. I'm John Weber for AM Best TV. Here to discuss the commentary is Chris Draghi, Associate Director, AM Best. And Chris, how has the Florida property market performed?
Well, the Florida property market, as we define it, we look at Florida domiciled personal property writers and omit Citizen Property Insurance Corporation, as well as others with national carrier affiliations. And that group, since 2016, we saw net incurred losses grow by 50%, while direct written premium increased by 22% and net written premium remained flat. Over that same period, surplus declined by 13.2% or $329 million, despite $987 million of capital contributions.
What are some of the factors driving these results?
Well, one important factor is social inflation. And social inflation, when I refer to it, is the litigation patterns within Florida that have not only driven up the severity of indemnity losses, but also the attorney fees paid out by primary insurers. As has been noted in several publications, the one-way attorney fees rule has historically required insurers to pay for plaintiffs' fees if the insurer is found to even owe $1 more than what was initially indicated. Concurrently, unsavory contractors have been soliciting claims, inflating the costs, and at times completed work before it can even be inspected. This resulted in disputes between what repairs were required and situations where insurers were not provided adequate information to either defend their positions or give a proper estimate. And subsequently, higher losses and litigation expenses have been paid.
Chris, how is this impacting reinsurance?
Well, the short answer, John, is reinsurance prices have been going up. In 2017 and 2018, a figurative perfect storm had occurred with Michael and Irma making landfall in Florida, and the social inflation factors that we just spoke about compounded the losses that came through with more losses than initially anticipated, which developed into what was known in the market as loss creep. So as Irma specifically developed adversely, those losses were being ceded to the reinsurers, and the reinsurers were then assuming more losses than they expected, which then in turn forced the prices to go up. And as the prices are going up, the bottom line for the insurers has been impacted, which speaks to why we see an increase in direct written premium, but the net written premium has remained relatively flat for the primary carriers.
With all that's going on here, how have the primary carriers responded?
Carriers have responded in multiple ways to create a more profitable book, from adjusting the language of insurance contracts to revising their risk appetites for specific pockets of Florida business. They've included more granular risk characteristics into their pricing schemes, added claims and legal staff to beef up their ability to handle caseloads and lawsuits. Overall, the impact has been to prioritize and combat those issues that have been becoming more apparent in the current environment, while maintaining proper price for the risks inclusive of the reinsurance costs that have been rising, as we just discussed. And carriers have been filing for significant rate increases, oftentimes in the double digits, but even those rates need time to roll on the book. We have also seen the Florida book as a percent of the total book decline, which reflects efforts of carriers to create a more diversified portfolio. However, everything that carriers have done, the bottom line has not been improving as hoped.
Chris, what's going on the legislative front?
Recently, the legislature in Florida passed Senate Bill 76, which provided a scheduled payment plan for first-party lawsuits in terms of what attorney fees would be rewarded, depending on the difference between the pre-suit settlement and the judgment obtained. This is very similar to what was passed in 2019 for specifically AOB lawsuits. So we'll see what happens with that. It still awaits governor's approval. It's not really considered a silver bullet, but certainly is a step in the right direction to start putting this market on the right path.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, John.
That was Chris Draghi, Associate Director, AM Best. You can find the full report online at ambest.com. For AM Best TV, I'm John Weber.